back. It's another episode of the Aren't You Glad I Said It podcast. We are your hosts. I am Brandon, kicking it with Master of Will.
Yes.
My guy is Steph.
Yes, sir.
And we got a special guest today, my man Derek. All right. Hopefully, a reoccurring guest. You know, like that how you keep coming back, man, and hosting the show with us.
I don't know. I don't want to get canceled after this conversation.
We'll see where it takes us,
It happens
man.
fast out here, man.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, man. Thank you guys for joining us again, man. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You know, if you aren't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for?
Lock in.
I know you want the notifications. Man. I know you want to see when we drop the next video. And we definitely going to do that for you guys. So we're going to keep the content going, man. This is episode 5, I believe.
Moving right now.
We are.
It's happening.
They grown, man.
Moving and grooving.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, man, so we're here for another week, man, just kicking it. You know, last week we had off, actually. I realized. So I know some things we got into, man. So how was the week? How was our fellas' week?
It was pretty good. I mean, I've been off since Monday. I've been chilling. Not doing too much.
Nice.
Just ready to start the next work week at my new job. But yeah, it's been flying by.
You got the new job going.
With a horn at.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, it's on Monday.
Nice, man. Let's get some. Yeah, we got you.
I had to get out, man.
I
had to get out, man. No offense to my last job, but
Yes, sir.
business is not booming in that field right now. It's not booming. It's tough.
It's time to go. It's time to go, man.
That's it, man. Nothing wrong with switching it up. Nothing wrong with switching it up at all, man. What about you, Will?
I decided to take my talents down to Albuquerque.
Okay.
Switch it up. I'm trying to do a little thing where I touch all the different states and see what's out there in this country that we have.
It's not a bad plan.
Went down there for the balloon fiesta.
Okay.
Bunch of hot air balloons going on. It was nice. It was a different vibe. A lot of sand, a lot of dirt, a lot of mountains, a lot of hot air balloons going up in the air and crashing in the boulevards and buildings. All in all, it was just a huge fair. Good food, good energy. I enjoyed it.
It was like vendors and stuff out there?
There was a lot of vendors. That's mostly what it is.
Okay.
It's just a big, huge fair, but people from all over the world. Normally all over the world, but since we're in this time that we're in right now, it was a lot of people from different states. Mm-hmm. They come down there with homemade hot air balloons in a huge field, and they just take flight, and then they crash.
I was just thinking.
Step 2.
You said homemade. What are we talking about? With super glue?
Yeah, whatever.
I need to see some videos.
Couple paper clips.
Are they inside? Like they going airborne?
Yeah, they're going airborne.
A lot of tarps out there.
Yeah.
Like
You gotta
high
sign
or-
the waiver to get out
They
there.
take it out there.
They don't have to like be tethered to the ground like
I don't know. The driver who I had on my way down there had mentioned to us that I was like, cause I'm just seeing them soaring, just the idea of it being so many in one place, I automatically thought like this has to set off some red flags with someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, you know, it's so we do every year. A few people end up in the hospital, but all in all, it's a good time.
Wow, he said the hospital that casual?
Yeah.
Well, you said they crashing into cars and houses and buildings.
That's a
You
fact.
ain't crashing.
I
in
just
the
don't-
And cactuses.
They didn't make y'all sign a waiver?
Nah, I didn't get on one.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
get on
So
one.
you
You
don't
probably
know.
gotta sign a waiver like to enter your
Yeah.
balloon,
You
like
got to.
Yeah.
That's
You
at
got
your own risk.
yeah,
Oh,
like
indeed.
pay for any damage you might cause.
You
You
gotta
said that's
know.
so casual, so it gotta be common.
Yeah, it does
I
happen.
hate to see
though.
those insurance costs.
But it brings a lot of money. I forgot how much money it brings to that area, though, the city.
Mm-hmm.
Over $100 million, I believe.
Really?
If I'm not,
That's
if I'm not
reckless.
mistaken.
Wow. How many
That'd be
people would you say
crazy.
was out there? About 10,000 more?
There's a lot of people.
It must go on
There's
for like
lot
a
of
week or
people.
something now.
A couple of weeks, I believe.
Couple
Really?
weeks? Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah, that's dope though. Albuquerque,
dude.
man. Okay, all right, Heisenberg country. We'll take it, man.
Definitely seen the car wash. Stayed at the Airbnb where they had they shot a few scenes there.
Nice.
Right
nice.
over the mountains.
Just
It was nice. I think it was good. You got to be going to Albuquerque for a specific reason, though. You
I'm
don't
going
just
for El
end up
Pollos
there.
Locos. I need to go meet my man.
Is that a real place out there?
I don't know.
wonder, yo.
It gotta be. They got it from
be.
somewhere.
You said the car wash real, so the car
The
wash.
car
I mean,
wash is-
that's something.
That's a real thing out there.
Okay,
Definitely
all right.
good.
Well.
What's going on, though, Derek?
Ain't much, man. Can't complain. Thank you for having me.
Definitely
as a
glad
guest.
to have you
Been
out.
tuning in every week. If you haven't, make sure you guys tune in.
Yes,
These
sir.
guys are up to something. You might learn a few things. If you're like me, I'm actually out there participating in the conversation, talking into my phone. So, you know. But if you got comments, man, like, subscribe, comment, and I'm sure the fellas will get back to you as soon as they can.
Absolutely.
Lock in.
But for me, I mean, I just been taking it one day at a time. I had this old patient of mine that told me one day, he was like, young blood, when you wake up on this side of the ground, it's a good day.
You know when you hit that young blood.
I didn't know what he meant by that because, I mean, he was like 90 something. I'm like, you know what, though? You get days are numbered, so every day is a good day for you. So I just try to take that in perspective.
Call you young blood. He's
Call me young blood. Yeah, well.
So you recycle.
But yeah, just waking up, you know what I mean, taking care of tasks, looking forward to, checking everything off, and then waking up the next day, and you got a whole other list that you got to tackle,
Checklist. It never stops.
But, grind don't stop,
Forward.
You got to keep going, got to keep pushing forward. I definitely need a vacation. I don't know if I'm going in a hot air balloon. Sometimes I'd be a little too nervous on a plane sometimes, so... But yeah, just taking it one day at a time. Looking forward to the weekend, having some time off, maybe kicking it with the family.
Nice.
It's fall time, so if that monsoon outside decides to stop,
Right.
maybe we can get out and enjoy some of this little fall.
Definitely down.
A lot of fall activities
We're
going on.
supposed to get
here.
out there today and do the bonfire action.
Yeah, man. Sorry, guys. This was supposed to be the bonfire episode. Get out there with some wine and cigars, so we'll get that done. We're definitely gonna get that done before the fall's out.
Supposed to get out there with the elements, but the elements had the element of surprise for us.
Yeah, they got the best of us.
Sure.
We'll be back.
You never know about Mother Nature.
Yeah,
Always
man.
got something up her sleeve.
Always, man. But yeah, man, it's been a good couple weeks, man. It's been a good couple weeks. I've just been chilling out, working, grinding, and so for me, it was just this past week I just got to actually chill, man. Got to chill, relax, and enjoy these 2 days off in a row for the first time in months. I want to say since like almost 2020. To be quite honest, I don't think I've had 2 days off in a row for a while, and so I'm just loving this, man. Honestly, it feels like a mini vacation before my vacation actually, which is next week. So I'm actually
The warm up.
The pre-vacay.
This is the pre-vacay, man. So actually, no, you know what? We went to Florida earlier this year, so I forgot I did the Florida trip. But yeah, I'm going to Cali next week, so
Line them up.
that joint to be fun, man. Step out there, stretch my legs, and hopefully the monsoon don't travel. Not to wish bad on y'all.
Nah, we don't need
It's all
that.
good.
Hopefully it go to another continent or something.
Hopefully them wildfires don't get you out in Cali.
Hey, man, not where I'm at. I did my extensive research. Where I'm going, wildfires cannot exist.
Nah,
There
Yeah, let me get in the middle of the city somewhere, cause I can't do it, man. But we'll have a real life bonfire.
What we got on the menu for today?
Oh, man,
what we
we-
got going on today?
Got a couple topics, man. The world's been going crazy.
It's true.
This Dave Chapelle special that dropped on Netflix, The
It's
Closer.
a big one.
Closer's out there, man. People are literally going insane.
Let's get a round of applause for
Firing.
Dave Chappelle. one
You
more
gotta
time.
have a round of applause
Get
for
a round
Dave,
of
man. Dave the GOAT, man.
Dave
He-
the legend.
He the voice of the people right now.
Absolutely.
I
Let's
love
get
that
one
he's
going.
acknowledging it, man.
Yes,
I love
sir.
that he's
Yeah.
acknowledging that one, man.
I appreciate
But yeah, like he did one with this one, man. Yeah. So we can just hop right into it, man. I think he went too far.
Let me just lead with this quote real quick by Dave Chappelle himself. I support anyone's right to be who they want to be, but my question is, to what extent do I have to participate in your self-image?
That's power.
That's big. See, like
Power.
It's tough. It's definitely tough. And it's a tough question because that whole community, they have one side of things. They have one view of the world, and that's their own view. And they want you to see them as that, whatever view it is. So for you to participate, you might have to alter your reality a little bit. So I understand.
That's a big ask.
Yeah, that's why I understand the question. Like
Yeah.
he makes these good points because they're kind of open ended. You can kind of interpret it how you want, but I feel like that's how it is interpreted. Like your reality is a little bit different from mine.
not a little more than a little.
A little more than a little. So how much do you want me to conform to where, like, okay, now my reality is being altered for your sake?
Right. So
So-
now you get sanity and I don't.
Yeah.
Well, like what do they call like back in the day, they used to call, as for conversational purposes, like they used to call gay people punks.
Okay.
We've altered the reality so far as to where straight people are now called cis.
Yeah, that blew my mind when I heard that. I still haven't researched it
You're a
extensively
sissy.
enough, but when South Park did that episode
That's
and
wild.
Cartman was walking around calling everybody sissies, I was just like, South Park, they just take anything and just make it monumental. But that's a whole conversation in and of itself. Dave touched on that too in the closer. By the way, this is going to be a spoiler alert episode. I will put it in the title.
You should have already watched it.
You shoulda.
Let's just be honest.
I've already watched it 4 times.
Right when it dropped, you were supposed to already have saw it,
It's-
so it's
It's kinda
sorry,
like
not
my lullaby.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not
Yeah.
sorry.
You got to get the gunshot sound because there was a
But
lot
yeah,
of shots fired in
I
that
definitely
special.
should. I definitely should get the gunshot. I should have prepared. My bad, Dave.
Definitely a lot of shots fired.
But yeah, man, it's a crazy one. See, I think he went too far. Did he go too far?
I don't think you went too far. I think it's kind of with the quote that I let off with. To what extent do I have to participate in your reality? That's your reality. That's your perspective. That's how you see things through your lens. This is how I see things through my lens. The thing is that unfortunately the time that we live in is if I disagree with you, especially if you're from the LGBTQ community where I don't want to say you guys, but a lot of people from that community feel or play like they're a victim. And it's hard to really take that stance, especially being a black man. You feel like you're being a victim. I feel like that I've been victimized as well. Now it's almost like, well, who's been hurt more or who's been hurt worse? But even more from that is like, if I disagree with you, then now I'm on the verge of being canceled. I can't say anything. I can't, as a comedian from Dave's perspective, you can't say anything. You can't joke. You can't make anyone feel uncomfortable. You can't necessarily hurt somebody's feelings, and the moment you do, it's all hell. It's breaking loose. They all coming for you, and they trying to get you out of there just because you have a difference of opinion. I like what Dave's doing as far as continuing like that. The thought of freedom of speech, and I say thought because it's
Yeah, I
almost
love
an
that.
it's almost an afterthought at this point.
Right.
It's almost something that we're being stripped of. And the unfortunate thing with that too is that it's almost like we're all being forced to conform to that alternate reality, which it's like if you don't agree with what mainstream culture is or what the topic of the day is, if you have anything against that, then you're the one that's being ostracized. You're the one that's being, no, you don't belong, because maybe I was raised a different way or my belief system was a different way. So nah, Dave didn't go too far. I can't say I agree with everything he said, but I don't think he went too far either.
What do you think about the fact that he had that he introduced the fact that he had a member of the community do stand up for him?
It just shows that he's not all of these crazy, outlandish statements that the community's throwing at him.
He said it himself. He said, "I am not transphobic." He
Yeah,
said
he
it himself
He
in
said,
the
he said
closer.
it multiple times. He
Pretty
said
much.
it multiple
To
times.
be clear, so with him saying that, I don't get how people. I guarantee 90% of the people who are commenting on it didn't even watch the entire hour special. It's only an hour,
Yeah, we're in that
so people,
microwave society.
they're just
People
watching
see
these little clips and forming an opinion from it. And I feel like he did a good job of trying to clarify what his. I can't say clarify his stance, but try to clarify, his stance, where he stands with it. Yeah.
No,
That's
I think that's
exactly
it
what
is,
he did. That's
because
exactly what he did.
I think it's more than, like you said, it just someone just saying they're not something doesn't automatically make them not the thing. But him going into this great detail as he did, like you said, him taking that time and making his stance clear, and people still missing it, that's the problem for me. It's like, I don't think he went too far. I think he was very clear about what his intentions has been the entire time. Even for somebody like me who understood what his intentions was from the beginning, I love the fact that he decided to make it so clear you could not twist the words from here.
Yeah, he did
And
a
if
great job
you
of that.
try to misinterpret it, it's like, man, he said it, and then he gave bullet points on why he feels the way he feels and what he's really been saying. He quoted himself in the bullet points.
Lined it up perfectly.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Beautiful. He sniped that one, man. He sniped that one.
Yeah,
man.
I'm just glad it's him
Poetic.
shedding this light because
Yep.
he's an intelligent comic, and I just really appreciate his views and his standpoint. I really do. I enjoyed the special. I don't think he went too far at all. I think everything was just giving more clarification on how he feels about the community. And at the end of the day, how he had closed it was that he was jealous. He was jealous of all of the rights that the LGBT, the L community was getting. So
Right.
Crazy, like how he even brought up the fact that when you say jealous, like how they get you can't breathe on them wrong.
Right.
How he even brought up the fact how the baby murdered a guy in Walmart. Nothing happened. His career exploded.
Took off.
And
Right.
then he ended up just speaking on this group, this community, and that's it for his career.
And-
Silence of the Lambs.
He did preface that statement too with stating that the baby did say outlandish comments.
He was,
Yep.
yeah, he
He and this is
both
where
were
I,
crazy.
This is where I draw a line.
Both were
Was like,
crazy.
what are y'all hearing? Because he already agreed and
It was
said, "You
ridiculous.
guys
That was
are
wild.
right.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
wrong."
Right.
Okay, now let's tell you how I feel it affects me personally and in my community. So I can agree to this was wrong about your community and this is wrong about my community. And maybe we should stop seeing things one-sided and also understand that people can make mistakes.
Yeah.
Because that's another big takeaway I think that occurs where we're in an era now where they cancel you so fast and it's your first mistake.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart lost the Grammys because of a comment he made, 8-10 years ago?
Like, you don't believe people can change, though? You
Like,
know, a
come
lot
on,
of times things happen out of ignorance. And, like, that leads me to my next quote. It says that if you can get people fired for saying things that you don't like, then that means you are the one with the power. You are not the one that's being oppressed. You are not the one that's being marginalized. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of times people hear things that they don't want to hear, or they hear something that is distasteful to them, and now they've tuned out the complete message, so they've missed the entire thing. Like kind of like what you were saying already. And he made a joke in there. He was talking about disclaimer. We probably gonna ruin it for a couple of you guys, so go ahead and watch the closer. But he was saying he was at a restaurant and it was somebody with a camera in his face. And he was, like, disturbed by that. So he got up, went over, said what he said. Basically, you know, get the camera on my face. And the guy was a white guy. Ended up being, I don't know what his pronoun was, but he was a member of the LGBTQ community. And he was white. So initially he played the victim of, oh, my gosh, you're being aggressive. Now I'm the victim. To immediately picking up the cell phone and calling the police. Because he was afraid of we all know Dave Chapelle from watching him. He was afraid that he was going to be harmed or whatever the case was. And whether he felt fear or not, he immediately switched from being a member of the LGBTQ community to now being a member of the dominant society, being a white man. Mm-hmm. So he was like, you know, it's crazy. How can you can't just flip. You can't be majority and minority at the same time. You can't be oppressed, but you can't be in power and be oppressed at the same time too.
That's a crazy.
And I know off camera we were talking about. Also, would you say he was a woman? What did he say?
Right.
They switched it up.
He said we finally had
them.
them on their heels. And next thing you know, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
In regards to the white people.
Yeah. So I was like, damn. Now you know.
White
I gotta learn how to maneuver this.
Imagine
You
you
know?
could be a Karen and an overseer at the same time. That's like the most awesome person in the world in terms of power.
It's
Like
the
your
most
powers is limitless.
asinine things ever.
You like Thanos. You like Thanos.
Collected
You're
all the
Karen and
rings.
the overseer at
Yeah.
the same time. Like
Right.
he was a 6'4" man who was converting, and it's just like, yo, there's no limit to the destruction you can have on our lives because if it was a black person, like Dave Chappelle said, they would not have even called the cops because they knew he wasn't being aggressive towards their choices.
Right.
He was upset about them filming him
Camera
in his
face,
private
an
moment.
Invasion of his privacy. Yeah.
So I can't even address my personal space without you pretending that your personal space is more important, or not even pretending, putting it forth that your personal space matters more than my personal space. And that's where I think the line has to get drawn. But
I personally love the fact how he brought up how they create words in their community to win arguments.
oh man,
Because from the beginning, I remember now, just from the beginning, when I first heard the term homophobic, the word homophobic, and people were saying like, if you have a problem with gay people, that's because you're afraid of being gay.
I didn't understand what that meant then, and I don't.
I'm
know.
afraid of being gay because I disagree with a lifestyle. That is not fair. That is not.
It's asinine.
That's a crazy way to like argue with someone. That if I disagree, it's crazy. Imagine if someone if it was anything else, and it's hard for us to even argue because they then come back and say, "I was born this way."
Yep.
So it's like you are attacking something that I had no choice of being, whether you're born this way or not. I have no idea. All right, I don't have the proper way to research this, but if I do know if I disagree with something, it does not automatically mean that I fear becoming it.
Right.
Man, how about maybe I just don't understand?
Yeah, those situations
maybe
can
I don't
happen.
understand
That
Like arachnophobia could be somebody kills every spider they see because they fear spiders. That's a possibility.
Right.
But to
That
say that
doesn't mean
everyone
that
who kills
everyone-
spiders
right.
is a arachnophobe, it's like that
Why
doesn't
can't
make
you
sense.
just not like bugs?
Right.
You just don't want them near you.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of
Not
that.
that you're gonna become one.
Right.
You just don't
Right.
want them near you.
Yep. I
Right.
just don't like them near me. That's why I kill them.
And,
I
you
get a
know,
little stop. Hey,
you
get out
know,
my
another
personal
point,
space.
they were along with Dave Chapelle. I feel like he dropped a lot of jewels. If you guys ain't checked out the closer, come on, Dave, we need some money, man. Like send us 5-10%. We be all right.
We take 10.
Yeah, we giving you a lot of shout outs right now.
We won't have them.
Anybody with connections to Dave, just let them know. Check us out. But he was just talking about you can say anything you want about, basically a black man and it's all good. But the moment you say anything about someone from the LGBTQ community, you're canceled. And that goes into a point we're making off camera a little bit too about the coach of the Oakland Raiders. And he was quoted as saying some racial comments about
Somebody's lips looking like a
yeah,
tire.
it looked like a whatever it was, rubber lips, right? Something like that.
He said his tire. He said his lips were like the same size as 2 tires or something.
It's
like
ridiculous.
That.
This is the head of the NFLPA he's talking about, like somebody in a position, a black man in a position of power.
That's crazy.
The emails came out. Everybody heard about it. And Stephen A. Smith, let me roll my damn eyes. He was like,
fool.
that guy should not be fired. The emails was from 7-8 years ago. He wasn't even on the team. It shouldn't affect him now. But the moment the emails surfaced about him saying anything about someone from the LGBT community, he used some language I won't repeat. We got to get this guy out of here. He can never coach a team again. He can never be. And it's just crazy like that difference of...
There's no consistency.
There's no consistency at all. But the unfortunate thing is it just continues to perpetuate how, we had this like civil rights movement going on. And it's like now we've been silenced and we've almost become... Instead of the victim, we're looked at as, an afterthought, or we're even looked at as an aggressor, to now an even more victimized movement. You know what I mean? And
Black
kind of
people
just
the
going back to the
aggressors.
quote we said already, it's crazy.
And maybe people might take this wrong, but now for him to say stuff like that, for people to consistently say things like that, my first thing would be is just to stop supporting him by watching his programs and tuning into what he's doing.
Yep.
I think that because this is like when someone continuously does stuff like that, it's like you shouldn't get my support.
Right.
Like you don't support me, we shouldn't give you support. And it makes it rough because people love sports, and I understand that. But at some point, if someone continuously does stuff like this to oppress you in this way, at some point we got to start having our own our own sports, like our own leagues, where we could hire announcers and have people talk about these sports in a way that is fair and just to our culture.
I don't even like cancel
on
culture,
point.
but like shit, get them up out of there. But it ain't never, that's a topic for another day.
I just say that because just going back to the Me Too movement, how people we were saying like we was talking off air and you had mentioned with the T.I. and Tiny.
Oh yeah, man. That's it, it's okay to cancel. It's okay to not support something, but to force other things, entities to cancel someone, that's where I think you draw the line. His situation in particular it was rare. To me it was the end of their movement in my mind.
You speaking about T.I.?
Yeah, T.I. because it was a bunch of strippers who came out and said that they were offered narcotics. They were offered the option to take narcotics or leave before some explicit activity occurred, and they made the decision to stay, and then went on social media and said that they felt uncomfortable and like they were taken advantage of. I don't get how you're taking advantage of when you're making adult decisions.
Right.
You chose to participate in an activity, and then it's like reneging in spades. Right? Anybody ever played spades? If y'all not playing spades, I don't know what y'all playing. But to renege on the deal is craziness.
Right.
But we can't get in this. We gotta just stop supporting it. There's no need to cancel his show. If this many people feel that way about him, stop watching.
You don't have to watch. You can continue to
Stop
scroll.
watching.
Yeah.
Why does the baby have to get canceled from everywhere he's performing? If you don't agree with him, don't go. People didn't want to get the vaccine, so they sold their tickets to the Bills games and they aren't going to Bills games.
Simple.
It's simple to me.
Right.
People didn't like Colin Kaepernick when he stood up and I caught myself right here. Shout out Cap. When Cap wouldn't stand.
Yeah, quite the opposite.
He definitely did though. My bad, Cap.
A big one too. And since we're talking about Dave Chappelle, we transitioned for a quick second, but Dave Chappelle didn't like what was going on with his program, and he quit.
He canceled himself.
He canceled himself.
50 million he left on
50
the table.
million. Sheesh. 50 million on the table. He said, I don't like what's going on. I'm out. Y'all not going to put me in a position to where later on I got to explain to y'all that, it would have went this and that way, but they forced me to do it. Nah, they didn't force you to do anything. You had a decision. You had a choice. It was a tough choice to make.
It was.
Included 50 million.
50 million when he was not rich.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
You had a choice.
He was not rich at that time.
That's massive.
He didn't have endless money at that time. He still had to work for the rest of his life.
Point that he made
to take care of his family, man. And
he
so
walked away from that.
50 million, man.
Just one more quote from Dave real quick. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. He just
let's
said,
do it.
our culture has accepted two huge lies. The first is that if you disagree with someone's lifestyle, you must fear or hate them. I feel like he did a good job of clarifying that. I don't think he hates the LGBTQ community. They can stop with that. Yep. The moment you say something bad about them, they're like, you hate us. Now you're canceled. Nah. And then the second is to love someone means that you agree with everything they believe, say, or do. Both of these statements are nonsense. You do not have to compromise your own convictions to be compassionate.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's like if you were married and you loved everything your spouse did. That sounds crazy.
You're not going to.
That's why arguments happen. That's why people get divorced even, because they cancel the marriage. Because they say, listen, I'm tired of you talking. I'm out. Like, I'm just leaving you. I don't have to put up with you. I don't support divorce, but I'm just saying, people have to take responsibility for what they put into their own lives. We don't live in a society where someone's forcing you to watch Dave Chappelle specials. No one's forcing people to take this content in and agree with it even after you've taken it in, right?
You know what? It's a real tough thing, though. I remember when I first I can also say myself that I had to work on it. Because it was tough for me to have a conversation with someone. And in my mind, I'm thinking 2 + 2 = 4. And in my mind, I'm hearing the person respond back that 2 + 2 = 5. And it's like, I had to understand that, you know what? People don't always have to agree. They don't. It could be a fact to me. It could be an opinion. whatever it is, people don't have to agree. And I guess maybe because this is new, and what it is to us, and what it is for them to communicate it to us, but I just don't agree with it. And I think that it's one of those things that they need to learn is that, okay, this is the lifestyle that y'all live in. People don't have to agree though. And when y'all come out and say that if you disagree, that you fear being one,
It's crazy.
or that you need to be canceled and your livelihood need to be stricken away from you. Hey,
It's too far.
I'm done with
my
that.
My biggest
on
thing,
that
you
one.
walk into a room, you know I'm black. I can't do nothing about that. I can't force you to like me. You might be racist. You might have been raised to hate us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and try and change your mind. I accept the fact that you believe what you believe.
Right.
I am who I am,
Right.
whether you sitting across from me or, whatever the case is.
Right.
I'm not going to waste my breath sitting here trying to convince you to
I'm
agree
okay
with
with
me.
that.
I'm okay with that. I've accepted that. I think it's a confidence thing as well. You gotta.
Yeah.
I understand that they as in the LGBTQ community feel like they may have been oppressed or whatever the case may be. But the thing is, you gotta have confidence in yourself. If you truly believe who what you are or who you say you are, then there shouldn't be a problem. There shouldn't be a person like Dave Chapelle with a platform who can make you feel any different. I'm sorry, you can't give people and you can't give words power.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't think that they have that. I don't think that they have that confidence.
Collectively or just individually?
Nah, collectively as a group. The suicide rate for the LGBTQ community is OD high. I don't know the exact stat, but I know that people of that community, they have a higher risk of committing suicide. So I don't think that they even have the confidence to begin with. It's probably also why they're also more sensitive to anything that comes their way. Like, oh, you're attacking me. I'm already going through this. Well, hold on. I don't know exactly what you're going through.
Right.
I'm just speaking my opinion.
Right.
So,
And none of it,
I'm not-
if it's not hate, then you shouldn't take it like hate.
yeah, but like I said, it's a crazy sensitive group, and they just got to come to reality with the fact that everybody's not going to conform to their reality. I actually was talking to, I was cool with this one girl. She ended up getting a girlfriend. Well, not a girlfriend. Sorry, a boyfriend who was trans. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's weird. Seemed like you was feeling me. Yeah, I know they're not satisfying me, but you need to address them as he.
This is
And it was a female. Like
also it's a trans woman.
Trans woman. No, trans man. Trans man.
Is that
really
mean-
a female? It's really a female, but it's a trans
into a
man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
they wanted me to conform to their reality and make it seem like. But every time I see this person, all I saw was, I'm not sure if dyke is a strong word, but that's what I saw.
Yeah, you're not supposed to use that one, Playboy.
Oh no,
At least I don't think so, right?
I can't keep up.
I can't keep up either. I thought a dyke was a woman that dressed like a man.
I don't know if it's a negative connotation behind it. I know
So
you're
what do you
not
call
trying
that?
We can avoid it for lack of understanding, just to make sure we're not offending anybody, because that's not our intent.
No, it's
So,
not.
you
It's
know,
not.
don't
I
be
don't
trying to
know.
flag the video just because you feel sensitive.
They get canceled.
It's a good question because you don't want to use terms. Let's just avoid it because I don't know.
I think it might be stud.
I don't know if that's a good one, bro.
Yeah, see, this is
I
exactly
get
what I'm
let's
talking
go
about. This is
trans
exactly what I'm
woman,
talking
trans
about. But
man. I know those.
end
are
of the
accepted
day,
terms.
my point is that they wanted me to address this person as a boy and when they were really female, and it didn't sit right. It didn't sit right with me, but
So you agree with Dave when he said in the special, gender's a fact.
yeah, gender is a fact. Gender. I mean, they're trying to come up with multiple genders. When it's really just two. But if you ask the community, I'm not sure what the number is.
It's
They think
unlimited.
It's like unlimited.
That's the actual answer. Anyone who's unsure about it out there, it's unlimited genders. Period.
That's crazy.
It's something
that's crazy.
that can't be quantified.
Not gonna lie, that's crazy. But I'm not trying to offend anybody by using that word. I'm not even sure if it's offensive. So I feel like Dave Chapelle right now.
Stephon on the chopping block, yeah. Let us know what y'all think in the comments. If anybody got the right answer, go ahead and post that joint, man. We'd love to see it, man. But no, I feel you coming from, man. So I assume everybody, you know, everybody here at this table at least feels like, you know, we should keep supporting him, and I 100% agree, man.